think, impressed and excited by the fact that he had such a large audience. The Tribune at the time was the most read newspaper in the world. 2 times as many people read the New York Tribune as the London Times in the 1850s. And so Marx wrote for the Tribune throughout the 1850s. When the Civil War started, the Tribune had to cut costs, and they fired him essentially. And then he continued to write about the U.S., particularly on the issue of the Civil War, for an Austrian newspaper, and exchanged many letters with Engels and many of his comrades in the U.S. about the Civil War. And so, like, for example, his Civil War writings are collected in a book that was originally published by the International Press, the International Publishers, the Communist Party's press, originally published, I believe, in the 1940s or 50s, I want to say. But there's a new edition by the Communists, by the International Publishers, that came out edited by Angela Zimmerman, a former professor of mine. And so, like, readers interested in what he had to say about the Civil War, really interesting writings, can read that. And because he was kind of depressed about world politics during the 1850s, especially after the failure of the 1848 revolutions, the Civil War gave him this optimism that he hadn't had since the 1848 revolutions. He really did see it as sort of like a spark for potential socialist revolution in the US and elsewhere.